Hello, good morning, good evening, or whatever time it is that you guys are watching Podbean Amplified. This is season 2, people. Yes, we have made it. Technically, if you're going by episodes, a lot of people, hot topic, hot take, should we have seasons or should we just go in number episode order? Well, truthfully, it's up to you. So this is season 2 of Podbean Amplified, episode 1 or episode 21 because we had 20 in the first season. My name is Shae. I'm super excited to be back with you guys. With me, I have my co-host Ericka, the beautiful Kensington, Miss Wolf.
Hello.
Just out here putting it out on the government name. No, I'm kidding. But we are switching it up a little bit. The structure of our Podbean Amplified is changing. I feel like, you guys had a lot of great input. We went to Podcast Movement. We definitely got a lot of different tips and tricks that we personally didn't know or implement ourselves that we are now doing. We can't wait to show, season 2. We've learned a lot. We've learned a lot.
It was fun too.
It was fun. It was real. It was fun.
It was real fun.
Okay, so changing up the structure, we have our first guest of this season. I am so excited to introduce her and just pick her brain a little bit, have her tell you how she does what she does, because truthfully, just reading up on her, I don't even know how she keeps up with all of it. But if you've heard of produceyourpodcast.com, go ahead and check it out. I have Miss Traci DeForge with us in the studio. Well, on the screen, but live in studio. You produceyourpodcast.com. Tell us a little bit about it. Tell the listeners, what you're about. Tell them a little bit of your experience and just showcase yourself. Shout yourself out.
Well, thanks for that. So, Produce Your Podcast is a full service podcast production and audience growth marketing agency, which essentially is defined by we do very white glove, high touch customer service around production, audio and video. We do audience growth strategy. We do monetization through brand partner outreach. We do guest booking services. So, we are the epitome of a definition of a full service agency because we really try to touch all the points of the podcast ecosystem and do that for businesses that want to leverage their podcast for visibility, leads, and sales and influence brand status. And at the end of the day, really use it to grow their businesses. And that's what we're all about. We look at everything through the lens of business development and how to create content and grow businesses by doing that. So that's what we do.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And some people talk the talk, but Miss Traci does also walk the walk. Just like us, we have a podcast about podcasting because we are podcasting software. You, Miss Traci, also have a podcast yourself, kind of revolving around the brand and what you do, pushing users to, I guess, optimize their podcasts a little better. You teach them about podcasting, marketing, things like that on your own podcast, correct?
Yes. So the Growth Accelerator podcast is really a great way to capture journey stories of podcasters who have started and how they started, how their show has grown, some really tactical, actionable tips for that people can emulate and really connect with and really put into practical action. One of the things you say, walk the walk and talk the talk. I'm all about action and taking action. So I want any time that you spend time with me, I want that ROI for you to be that you get to take away something and implement it and just grow from it. So we named it the Growth Accelerator, and that's what it's all about.
I love it. That's amazing. So going into my first question, Traci, you have a fascinating background, obviously in broadcast media and business strategy. We've talked about that a little bit. What inspired you to launch Produce Your Podcast, and how did your prior experience shape the agency's vision? So sorry.
Oh, I love that question. So in 2015, so we're 10 years from that, I wanted to launch my own podcast. It was my very first podcast. It's archived now, but it's called Journey to There, and it's all about exploring the intersection between personal and business growth. And I wanted to start my podcast, and I looked around, and there weren't any full service agencies at that time that were really dedicated to what I wanted to do, which was have a team to help me produce my show so that I could continue to focus on my business development consulting company at the time. So I had a tremendous amount of broadcast radio experience, and that could be considered a blessing or a curse because
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I knew, and I knew that if I was going to have a broadcast quality show, I was going to need a team to help support me to do that because I'm a client first type of person. And I knew if I didn't have that accountability of having a team to work with me, that it would get put on the back burner. And I knew consistency was the key to growth. And so there were all kinds of things that went into pulling a team together for me to actually launch my own first podcast. And that was amazing. It launched March 8th of 2016. And then swiftly after that, I just looked around and I was like, my first love has always been broadcast radio. There are going to be a lot of other coaches, consultants, business owners who are going to want podcasts as a tool for them to grow their businesses like I was using Journey to There. And there's an opportunity here where we can create a model around supporting these business owners and consultants and so forth to really have what they need to get the strategy, launch the show, grow the show, and do that without it becoming their own full-time job, which especially at that point in time, nobody really understood the technology. This was pre-COVID. This was also pre-Descript, pre-Riverside. We actually honed a technology from the UK so that we could record people virtually from all over the world. I had guests from Bali. I had guests, from that were local, but I also had guests that were New York, LA. And so we honed that technology. We created broadcast quality podcasts, and we were just off to the races.
It's amazing.
It's very amazing. So, your agency has helped you launch over 160 plus podcasts for both startups and Fortune 500 brands. What unique challenges and opportunities come from working across such a diverse mix?
I love what cracks me up about that question is I never saw it as a challenge. And so
Mm,
when I
Wow.
was, yeah, exactly. And here's the reason why. Whether you are a startup or a Fortune 500 company or anything in between, your brand has a story. And what better way to tell your story and connect with your customer or your client or just connect with another human to have that story be relatable than through your podcast. So, from a strategy perspective, you always want to think about your podcast as what's in it for your audience. And that doesn't change no matter the size of whether you're a solo podcaster or you're a CMO developing a branded podcast for a Fortune 500 or large, billion, million, $1 trillion company, because it is the story that you have to tell and how you connect that story with your audience that matters.
I love that.
mm-hmm.
Traci is the podcast baker. She says, "You have all the elements. It's pretty much the same recipe. Let me make you the perfect pie.
Oh, that's good.
Let me put it together for you.
Yes,
Blueberry,
nobody wants a
raspberry,
cake half
peach."
baked.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm.
nobody wants a cake half baked. So you
There you
gotta
go.
you gotta just
I
get the
love
formula
it.
and follow the strategy.
I
Yes.
love your mindset because, the way that you explain things, it's like there are no what is the right word? There are no challenges. It's more different types of strategies I can implement or opportunities or avenues I can go down. Here's an idea. It's not a challenge. This is a different way for me to handle a certain situation, or because of your company or whatnot. You just got to add a little bit more baking powder and you're all fine, you know?
Well, and I do think to your point, though, because I had 20 plus years in broadcast radio experience, I had worked with in the capacity of one format. We worked when I was running 12 stations, we had rock, news talk, pop, country. We produced the University Sports Network at the time. So I had all of this diverse experience of working with a local mom and pop retailer all the way up to Coca-Cola, Budweiser, and everything in between. So I already had that experience came naturally to me. And I think your question about how did the broadcast radio experience kind of flush out the vision for the for Producer Podcast, I never thought of niching it down into a vertical. I never thought of only working with, the Charles Schwabs and the Trader Joe's of the world. Like my heart has always just been in business development as a strategy. And so that encompasses all types of businesses. And so it was just a natural transition for me. I literally didn't give it a second thought.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
So, how do you strike the balance between creative storytelling and strategic brand positioning that delivers measurable results? Because I know sometimes you have to swing one way or the other and then divert just based on consumer interaction.
Yes. So where you start with that is you've got to get your mindset beyond metrics and come back to the ROI that you're looking for, and that's not quantifiable in a way, because you want to create something that connects with your audience that's not an infomercial, right? So in addition to that, you have to think about how you're going to engage with your audience in a way that is not only sets you apart, and everybody has their own differentiator, if you will, but also what sets your podcast apart and what's going to keep people not just sampling it, but coming back to it. So probably one of my best examples that I can give you is we just recently launched a podcast called The Civic Brief. And we, as part of the strategy, it literally checks all the boxes of your question, because one episode will be a long form episode where the host is interviewing his first guest was Susan Eisenhower, for example. And so it's an expert interview where he can showcase his talents. Secondly, he does a solo episode where he can get much more immersed in tactical strategy so his audience can connect to him and determine whether or not he would be a fit to work with them as a consultant. And then the third is what's called a walk with me episode, where he wants to connect his Substack community back to his podcast audience. And he writes these beautiful blogs about walking with me, so that if you were to take a walk with him and George Washington, for example, that would be very difficult to accomplish in video. But what we built for him as a strategy was to be able to really connect his community with those beautiful written posts with a sound designed, audio focused episode. So this gives him this very well rounded production companion strategy, but is also all focused on positioning him as a thought leader and an industry expert, also being able to showcase other thought leaders and industry experts within his guest Q&A format, show his tactical experience as a consultant, and then just this beautiful, warm, embracing, entertaining concept with the sound design that just takes you to a whole nother place and is very endearing and very much brings that audience and keeps them coming back. So I think that's the kind of strategies that I love, because they're multifaceted, but at the end of the day, their goal is to keep their audience engaged, reach the right audience first, keep them engaged, and keep him having opportunities to continue the conversation with this audience after they've consumed the content. So I'm better at examples than I am in theory, because again, I can tell you theory all day, but that's a practical and tactical example of how to make something like that work.
Oh, I love that.
Good.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. She knows it all. And you know what? So humbly so. It's like, that's the name of the game. I've been here for a while. It's like, no, you're incredible. Like your mindset, the way you see things. Like people truly don't understand marketing, podcast strategy, or just broadcast, or being in media in general. Like once your mind is there, you're just off to the races, and I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do eat, breathe, and sleep it. Like I generally just really love what it is that I do, and I love this medium, and I love being an advocate for this medium.
I love it. Yeah, that's amazing. And then to be one of I would say one of the first in the space of the kind. You have such a large repertoire of clients now, but initially you were one of the founding in the space. So it's cool.
Thank you.
Of course. This has been Miss Traci. Obviously, we would are going into our second segment where we're going to have you commentate with us. Please do not be nervous. This is obviously the first episode of season 2. And so this is the first time we're doing this with our guests. It's usually just an interview.
Oh, I
and
love
then...
to be a guinea pig, so it's fine. It's great.
Alrighty, so we have a video that we're going to play and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Please feel free to rip the Band-Aid off. Please feel free to just not say a word, but we want to know your opinion.
The upscale grocery brand makes its East Coast debut with a tonic bar in New York City. I'm Layla, your insider to the world of luxury, sharing the best in travel, dining, and experiences worth knowing. Let's get into it. Erewhon's opening its first location in New York, but don't get too excited. The West Village location won't be open to the public. The Erewhon in New York will be housed inside Kith Ivy, a members-only club currently in development, offering select juices and smoothies only. Kith Ivy is a private padel club founded by Ronnie Feig, the founder of the lifestyle brand Kith, and membership will cost $36,000 in initiation fees plus $7,000 in annual dues. Non-members within the delivery range can still enjoy Erewhon drinks, available in limited quantities exclusively via Postmates and Uber Eats. The new location will be at 609 Greenwich Street in Manhattan. Make sure to follow for insider access to the world of luxury. Erewhon,
So are you familiar with Erewhon?
I am not.
Oh, wow. I know you're on, are you East Coast or
Well,
Central?
I'm pretty global, actually. I
Okay.
go back and forth between the U.S. and Mexico, and we have teams all over, actually. So,
Oh my gosh.
but yeah.
That's crazy. So Erewhon is actually a California, more LA, where it blew up, LA-based grocery store where they have completely overpriced items. I mean, we did a little segment last season about Erewhon in general in LA, how they had a
Like
16.
$20.
It was, 19, excuse me, a $19 singular strawberry from Kyoto,
Oh,
Japan. And it was
okay.
just like placed in a little bubble. It looked like a rose from Beauty and the Beast in that little dome. And you take the dome off and you eat the strawberry. But we did a viral topic on that and we were like, oh my God, would you really buy a $19 singular strawberry from this expensive grocery store?
Well, I think I would then ask, if you bought it, would you eat it? Because it seems a little precious for $19.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
would you just
absolutely.
have it? I mean, obviously, you might want to show it to your friends or have some sort of cachet as to why you bought it. So,
Yeah.
but then I would hope you would enjoy it before it would rot, because then that would be useless. So,
Oh,
Exactly.
absolutely. So Erewhon, this grocery store, so just to throw up prices, they have a $19 strawberry. Their ice cubes are $32.
Ice cubes.
Their tote bags are $50. So, like the Trader Joe's, couple
A
buck
simple.
tote bag. Yeah.
They're
$50. So this high end.
well, that's a status symbol, though. So if
Yeah.
you've got
Yes.
if you've got one, I would imagine from a marketing, say, I got to think marketing strategy perspective. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. No $32 ice cubes, no $19 strawberries. But if you have their tote bag and then you're taking it to yoga or you're taking it to the farmer's market, then people are going to know that you know about that exclusive opportunity. So I think from a marketing perspective, that's actually smart.
The
Yeah,
Lululemon Fabletics effect, right?
Exactly.
So they're actually
exactly.
moving Erewhon and they are expanding to New York now. So it's also going to be in New York. It's in it says in the Kith Lounge. Have
Kith,
you
yeah.
heard of Kith as well?
See, you're getting me. I haven't heard of any of these things. I kind
You're on the good side
obviously
of
stay
media,
in my
Tracy.
own.
I envy
I'm
you.
obviously stay in my own bubble over here.
I need to get on Tracy's algorithm. She's untouched by the superficial stuff. I'm over here like,
I
give
would
me the
agree with
tea,
that.
Tracy. Like, I would never. No, I love
Well,
that.
I'm not saying I would never, but I would probably really think about it.
Yes.
For
So they're
sure.
opening up this Erewhon. And this is not even I'm not even dropping the ball yet. So this is the kicker. It's
Okay.
30
I'm so scared. Now I am scared, by the way. I was not
It's-
scared before. I'm scared now.
it's $36,000 initiation fee.
I did
Plus
see that in the captions of the video, yes.
plus 7,000 for upkeep. So a yearly thing.
An annual.
Annual upkeep.
Five
Keep that in
grand.
perspective.
Right.
I'm a golfer. Well, not as much, you know, because it's expensive. But when you golf avidly, you know that there are country clubs or groups and associations that you belong to. That's the
Exactly.
only way I can really put it into mind. And I'm sure there are other social clubs where you pay into. But with these, it kind of reminds me of the golf course effect where you pay an initiation fee. It could be 150,000, 200,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it
big
is.
boot
Oh,
goes.
okay.
And then you pay a yearly fee, which is also like 40K a year or 10K a year, depending on whatever it is. This kind of reminds me of it. And I'm like,
Oh my god.
a little side of me, you know, the, what's it called? The troublemaker side? The one that always wants to be
The
like
disruptor. We'll call it the
the
disruptor
devil on the
side.
shoulder, the angel and the devil always wants to talk more than the angel, obviously. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, what a way to separate the classes. What a way to keep us separately different.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of is like, I'm not going to buy a $19 strawberry. I'm actually going to buy groceries for the week. I wish it was $19, but like realistically, I can buy all my fruits and veggies with $19 for the
Right.
week.
Yeah, but you also have to think about the idea of just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yes.
Like that's what's mind blowing to me is that it's just like where does the reality come into play against the experience? And yeah, so
100%.
there's that.
I'm there for the opposing side of like, oh, I would go there because I have the money. That's a valid reason. I'm not going to go there because $32 for an ice cube when I can just open my faucet and stick the tray in the freezer. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
Yeah.
$32.
absolutely.
That's a whole
Well,
Starbucks.
and so from a producer perspective, not that you asked me, but I can't help myself. When I was watching the video, my first thought was, I think I might have opened with the 36,000 as kind of like the hook to pull me in. But then I would have wanted to know as the audience, and again, what's in it for the audience, right? I would have wanted to know, what do I get for $36,000? Because
Right.
somebody's paying it. And so there might be like, maybe that is something I would be interested in doing, but there was nothing in that content that gave me a reason to want to literally continue the conversation to understand more. I would have loved for them to hook me with the 36,000 because the first caption was the spelling of the name, which my brain went to, is that a typo? Because that's an oddly
Yes.
spelled word.
Mhm.
But had it been 36,000 membership, that would have gotten my attention much quicker. And then if
Oh.
they had said, and you get one, two, like even like the three coolest things that you get for the 36,000, then I might have had a little shopping envy, right? Like I might have had
Right.
maybe I can't do that, but I kind of wish I could.
That is
But
the perspective. Yeah.
yeah, but that's not, to me, that's the content creator really missed out on that opportunity to hook us in and really help us like not sell us in a commercial way, but just have us buy into why is that cool? The
Yeah.
coolest thing you told me was that they have the tote bags to get the cachet factor going. But what is the cachet? Like what am I going to get for $36,000
Right.
other than really expensive ice cubes and strawberries? Like I feel like that was a miss, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean,
Yeah.
no, that's 100% correct. And then she's, you know, I guess broadcasting under the impression that people know what Erewhon is. You know, so there's
which is
less
a
explanation.
mistake that
Mhm.
podcasters and content creators make more often than you think.
Under
That is
explaining. Yeah.
Well, it's that idea of having your audience feel included versus excluded. Now, there's exclusivity, like exclusivity of being able to afford a $36,000 membership to essentially a grocery store. That's one set of exclusivity. But excluding someone in your communication style or what you're talking about and not bringing them into the conversation is the best way to not grow your show, because people will not continue to consume your content because they feel like an outsider, and no one wants to feel like an outsider. And even you might have still felt like an outsider if she had hooked you with the 36,000 and gave you the 3 bullet points, but that would have been a different feeling of being excluded. That would have been like I'm excluded, but that's still pretty cool.
Mhm.
Whereas just having a conversation, assuming people know what you're talking about and why, and they don't, they get lost and then they leave. And that's why consumption rates get compromised.
I love that
Yeah.
consumer thought, you know, just flipping a little bit of verbiage,
Yeah.
and it's the whole mindset of the consumer. Like, oh, why do I need to know about this expensive place versus, oh, wow, that's really expensive. Maybe if I had the money, would I do that? So it brings a different mindset, a different thought from digesting it. Wow.
Absolutely. It's a different literal psychological experience, and people love to leave if you're consuming content, audio or video, doesn't matter. You want to leave the experience feeling lighter and smarter. Because if you do that, if a host creates content that has the audience leaving feeling lighter or smarter, then they are much more likely to do what? Go and share it, talk about it, get on their next Zoom call and be like, did you know that there's a grocery store that charges $36,000 just to be a member of it? Because you're excited to share that, because getting that, being a part of that inside information or being a part of that experience made you feel lighter and smarter. So you want to go and share it. That piece of content did not have me feeling lighter or smarter. It had me feeling confused and like whatever. Like that.
Like, I'm not paying 36K or 7. You can keep that. I'm going to keep my
Right.
money.
Or I wouldn't even know what it was for. So it was
Yeah.
like you guys did a better job of explaining to me what it was for than that content segment did. But now I'm gonna, after being in this experience, I'm gonna feel lighter and smarter. So I'm gonna go share outside of this to other people. So you see,
Nice.
you accomplished it, and you were doing it by sharing their content. So that's a
Thank
win.
you. Yes,
Yay.
we've learned so much on this show. I hope you guys are retaining all of this because
I
it's
hope
like
you
a
feel lighter and
visual learning
smarter.
moment, right? Implement that
Tag
into
you're
your
it.
the next time you go to front facing broadcasting, or you're porting something, or you're just talking about anything to the camera. Think about perspective. Think about consumer perspective and the way you are putting the content out there. Be mindful of that.
Yes, it is not what's in it for you. It is what's in it for them.
Oh, I love that so much. Traci, it was a pleasure having you on here. Seriously, your mind in the podcasting space, and just, your smile is incredible. You're so beautiful. Radiate just energy. We love it. And we thank you for joining us and spending some time with us here on Podbean Amplified.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been absolute my pleasure. We could do this all day. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope you have a
Okay,
great day.
thanks. Take care. Bye
You
bye.
too.
Bye.
Thank you. Oh wow. That was really good. I love like picking the minds, because I mean, honestly, we've been a part of Podbean for what is it, like 8 months now?
For us. Yeah.
Yeah, like 7-8 months. We're a month apart, so 7-8. And I'm a baby in the podcasting space. I have all of this on camera je ne sais quoi and energy. But listen, honey, I'm a baby in the podcasting space, and I would love to learn with me, because a lot of these things that I'm spewing, or a lot of the things that, the questions we're asking, are questions that I have myself. I'm not going to be all high and mighty. I'm not the know-it-all. I wish I was. And if it seems like it, I'm doing a pretty damn good job, right? No, I'm kidding. No, but that was amazing. Yeah, how was your weekend? We always talk about that, and that's something that I never want to stop, is the check-ins. Check in with you, sis.
It's a long weekend. Remember, we had like a little Labor Day.
The laborous of the
Yeah,
days.
the labors of the days. So I managed to like get more roar.
Get more roar. If you are new to the season, welcome. You are a season late to the party and 20 episodes behind. Catch up. Probably about episode 15 is when we started implementing roar,
Is it?
which is what we came up with. Roar. ROAR. The phonetics. Is that what they call phonetics?
Phonetics? Acronym?
Acronyms.
Oh.
Words. I'm not very good at them. They just pop into my head and I say things. They pay me to be chaotic. Don't worry. Roar. Rest and open arm relaxation. We came up with that on the spot sometime towards the ending of last season, because we were burning the heck out. And we were just we were kicking into high gear, getting ready for podcast movement,
That's right, yeah.
closing up our season. We were doing promos. We had a partnership with JLab. That was so amazing. Please go check it out. We have some surprises for you in store still going on. Still got a little bit of time. If you want to check out the promotion with JLab, head on over to our social medias and check it out. Oh shit, by the time we post this, it
ends like next week, September
womp
11th.
womp. If you missed out, sucks a suck. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. We're sorry we missed you. But I'm excited. Football season. Woo-hoo. I got my Raiders, baby. You're wondering, like, why is this girl? I had my hair up. Hold on. I had my hair up like this, and I was like, oh no, I look like a boy. I gotta put my hair down. So put it to the side.
There you go.
Go Raiders. Woo-hoo. Okay, I'm done. I actually wore this green because I can't wear, like, I want to be still professional and comfy. And obviously Vegas Raiders. I didn't want to wear my Jets, even though I'm a Jets fan. Shout out Jets. We're going to be good this season. And that's what every Jets fan says every season, okay? So on brand, shout out Aaron Rodgers. We're going to kick your butt on Sunday. And if we don't, you'll never see this clip. This clip will never see the light of day. He'll put it up. You're going to embarrass me, like... Where is Shae? Oh, she's at home recovering from that Jets loss.
Oh, no.
Okay. People are not sports fans, Shae. They're here to talk about podcasting. And so I would like to introduce Podbean Success. This is a new segment that we have come up with because instead of teaching you about our software, we are pulling from customer questions, listener questions, emails that we get. So please send us an email, send us a DM, comment on this link right here if we end up making a visual piece for wanting to hear you out. If you have a question or have any troubles with podbean.com, go ahead and submit a DM, support@podbean.com, send them an email, or you can email me, shaer@podbean.com. Serious DMs only, people. Trust me, I have to put out that disclaimer. Serious inquiries only. I hit that block button faster than I lock my car doors, okay? Anyways, Podbean Success. Reel it in. I'm slowly falling apart. The episode's almost done. Okay.
It's all good. It's our first.
Okay. So Podbean Success. Obviously, we want to help you guys out. Podbean Amplified podcast about podcasting. We are here to service you and teach you about podcasting, encourage you guys to become better podcasters, and then ultimately optimize your podcast shows as well as navigate the Podbean website, because after all, we are podbean.com. So with this, our first question of Podbean Success is, hi, hello. How do I monetize my podcast on Podbean? ? Okay, well, hello back to you, user. So to answer that, we offer multiple monetization tools. The first one being, pod ads. We have dynamic ad insertion, or you can promote your podcast. Those are two things in the monetization portion that you can use right away. You can utilize right away. Obviously, getting paired up with the obviously going into the Podbean marketplace, you would need 1,000 downloads a month. Not hard to attain if you are being consistent. Some other options would be the Podbean Patron program, where fans can support you, monthly. Patreon. So if you don't know that, familiarize yourself. Podbean, Patreon go together. Yes, sir. And then we also have premium content where you can lock up and then, certain episodes one-time purchase. So there are multiple ways to monetize right off the bat without having 1,000 downloads. So it's super easy. I mean, not super easy. I'm not saying it like it's a walk in the park. No, it takes time, effort, consistency. But if you are diligent and you are intentional, you will find ways to make money on your podcast without being a large show or a large entity.
For sure. And you can just turn this on in Podbean dashboard under monetization. Also, there's a pro tip that we can tell you. So you can start with your listener support, our Patreon page for like to grow your community. You can turn your listeners into fans, and then eventually ads make more sense after that.
I do love that pro tip, only because, listen, guys, podcasting is hard. Don't make, earning revenue hard. Start out easy, low and slow.
Mm-hmm.
At Podcast Movement, I just want to point out Anna Xavier. She said something. Start out with one thing first. Stop trying to dip into all of these different avenues. Start with one, and if it works out, you got to make sure that you're consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that you have a good rhythm, because if you're forcing yourself to do something, it's not going to last. It's not sustainable. Do something that's fun. Do something sustainable. Do something easy right off the bat. And once you're comfortable, add on. Don't burn yourself out. No, don't burn yourself out right away.
She did mention about like where focus
grows.
Oh,
Where focus grows. Where focus goes, stuff grows.
wait. Something along the lines of that, right? Where focus goes, it grows. There you go. There you go.
Words.
Where focus goes, it grows.
You got it. Yes. Where focus goes, it grows.
Yes.
That's a tongue twister, but I love it. I love it. We are going to end on that, because I feel like that is a piece of advice that we need to etch into your mind and leave you with. Where focus goes, it grows. Focus on your podcast, it will grow. No, I love it. So this has been real.
It's been fun.
It's been real fun. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to DM us. support@podbean.com. Hit us up on all social medias. And if all else fails and we're out of town or it's the weekend, go on Podbean Academy, because we have a ton of tutorials all on YouTube as well. Check them out. And for more podcasting tips, we'll see you next week or in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, that's right.